Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Stuttering in Silence. My name is Gavin, and I'm joined by...
My name is Matthew.
Hi, Matt. And today we're continuing our discussion of the best and the worst movies of the past 20 years, starting in the year 2000 all the way through to 2024. I guess 2023 because this year hasn't fully ended, so, you know.
Yeah.
But last episode, we covered 2000 to 2005, and those were some really good ones in there.
Yeah, they were.
And then today we're going to be covering 2006 to 2010. Are you ready to kick us off?
I am indeed.
Let me hear the best of the best.
Best of the best. Okay, here we go.
Starting in the year 2006.
So, 2006, we have Pan's Labyrinth. The Warner Brothers made this movie. It was pretty cool. It was Guillermo del Toro. It was a fantasy horror film. Pan's Labyrinth is the best movie of 2006. The Pan's Labyrinth takes place in 1944, where a young girl named Otelia became appalled when her stepfather's ruthless war practices came to light. She finds her way into the magical world where she encounters creatures, and she figures out that she cannot even conjure. We all love a serious and tear-inducing film / movie, depending on how you want to look at it. Short film, big film. This is a movie. However, when this one, it has a great change of pace. Also, it's Guillermo del Toro, of course, so it is a great movie. Do you like how I added the Yeah, so I have not seen this one, but from a lot of the research that I was looking up on it, people loved it. It encapsulated that love, that taste. You get to kind of see like that whole war-bending father. And especially nowadays, with a lot of war kind of going on and a lot of strife and things like that, people nowadays have still been watching it and kind of can take it into account of what's happening now. But everyone loves, as like I said, a very serious and tear-inducing movie. But it was a good change of pace for a lot of the movies that came out in that year, and actually wasn't a great year for movies in general.
Really?
It was not.
2006?
Yeah, 2006.
Really?
Yeah. The IMDb gave it an 8.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes loved this. It was 95%, and the letterboard was 4.5 out of 5. So everyone kind of across the board really liked this movie. I've noticed, I think you said it last week, it was they don't necessarily give Rotten Tomatoes too much credit for a lot of stuff, or they don't, what's the word I'm looking for, like listen to them.
Yeah.
However, it does seem most people, I feel, talk about Rotten Tomatoes in a certain regard where it's like, oh, this movie got this amount, this movie got this amount, this movie got this amount. So, I don't know. I use Rotten Tomatoes a lot, especially when I'm looking into movies and things like that. But did pretty well, especially on IMDb with an 8.2. That's usually where a lot of the good movies are range around.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the good movies are between, I would say like 8 to... I feel like a lot of movies are even on IMDb. I feel like sometimes you would even see like a low, like an 8.2, maybe like a 7.9.
Yeah.
But it's better than... It might be one of the best movies of the year. I don't know.
All right. Well, that was my first one. Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo?
All right.
All right, my friend. Take us away.
Well, we're going to the bottom of the barrel on this one here. Not quite all the way down, though. So, 2006, the widely considered worst movie of 2006, according to IMDb, is The Wicker Man.
What?
The Wicker?
Wicker?
Yeah.
Barely even know her.
All right. Directed by Neil LaBute. I probably butchered that, but I'm so sorry. Starring Nicolas Cage, Ellen Burstyn, and Lily Sobieski.
Why? Do you ever notice that, like, we can't get names right a lot of the time when it's names like that, but all the other, like, easy names?
Giannis Antetokounmpo?
If you would have written that on a piece of paper and said, hey, Matt, I need you to say that word, could not say it for you.
Yeah.
Continue on, sir. Sorry.
So, so the Wicker Man, actually, fun fact about this, it's a remake The first Wicker Man was made in 1975, I believe. And this is apparently the first one. I've never seen this, either the first one nor the remake from like this one from 2006, but apparently it was pretty bad, so I'm glad I missed it.
Yeah.
It says here, let's see. Sorry, I lost it for a second. So it says a sheriff investigating the disappearance of a young girl from a small island discovers there's a larger mystery to solve among the island's secretive neo-pagan community. That's kind
so
of
is the pagans.
Yeah, that's kind of a little synopsis here. For the movie from IMDb, and to go a little bit deeper. I guess from a different angle, it says a reclusive lawman, being Nicolas Cage's character, travels to a secluded island to search for a girl who's gone missing. Once there, he discovers sinister forces at work among the island's secretive residents, including strange sexual rituals, a harvest festival, and possible human sacrifice.
Okay.
So this movie was rated a 3.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow.
Yeah.
Solid score.
Solid score.
That's
a score.
That's a score.
That's a score. Coming in at a hot 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, and coming in even with an even hotter score of 36 on Metascore. So this one didn't do too good. It's just another early to mid 2000s Nicolas Cage miss. So. But from what it says here, I actually did a little bit of digging behind it because apparently the first one was really good.
The one in
1973
yeah.
or 75. I forget which year. I can look it up. But so it says here, why was the Wicker Man remake so bad? It says there's something really repulsive about a director remaking a film when they clearly haven't had taken the time to understand the original. The plot is weaker than you would believe without seeing it, and the whole war of the sexes thing is just not interesting.
Oh,
so
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like they missed the mark here a little bit, according to a wide variety of reviews and from the critics themselves. Yeah, but. I don't know. That's what it says. That's just what I'm looking at. But then it gives a little bit of another thing here. It says 60% of people on Google like this movie.
60% of people on Google. Who was taking that poll? I guess Google. I guess Google was taking that poll. But that's who goes on Google and goes, "Hey, man."
I guess they like the movie.
Something.
They might be the only people that like the movie. I don't know, dude. It was 2006. I was 7. Who knows?
2006. I was 6.
That's how math works. Because you're younger than me by 1 year.
But I'm smarter.
Okay. No, wait. You're. Yeah.
I was a 99 baby.
Yeah. Barely. Yeah, you're September of 99.
September 99.
September 99.
Yeah.
All right. Hit us with number 2. Hit us with 2007's quoted best movie of the year.
We don't talk about Juno. No. I just
terrible.
I just thought of that.
That was really bad.
In my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, long story short. All right. So, Searchlight Pictures created this masterpiece. The film was in 2007 and has to be the drama comedy Juno. In this film, Elliot Page, see, easy name. Elliot Page stars as Juno, a young teenager who finds herself pregnant, looking for someone to adopt her child. She ends up choosing Vanessa and Mark Lorena, I don't know, as her child's future parents, played as Jennifer Gardner and Jason Bateman. However, the complications with her relationship with Mark will soon disturb the peace. Although this film has laugh out loud moments, there is much passion and a lot of heartfelt moments on every part of the screen and every part of this relationship.
Yeah.
So I've only seen clips and I've only heard about this movie. However, the IMDb gave it a 7.4 out of 10. Mm-hmm. So again, we're getting below that 8 range.
Yeah.
Juno scored 81% on Metacritic, and it scored a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It scored a 94 on
94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Jeez.
So that's the whole thing, and kind of like what we keep saying about like Rotten Tomatoes. I do think when it comes to like IMDb, I think it's like professional people who are like, "Yo, we're gonna sit down and we're really gonna like evaluate this movie on what they're doing." Rotten Tomatoes, I do think on a lot of things they give power to like the people and how they're like deciding on what they're gonna be doing and how they're gonna be rating this movie.
Right.
I don't know much about Metacritic. However, I will say Rotten Tomatoes, if it is power to the people, I guess you could say, go by that. But I definitely would go by the IMDb because a lot of these people that are there and scoring these movies know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just said that's what I was saying before is like you would have a good movie that's rated highly on one. It might not be rated as highly on the other. Like IMDb gave it a 7.4, but then Rotten Tomatoes a 90 something. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit of give and take there, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too because it's rated pretty high.
Yeah, I have heard about this movie. People love this. I mean, I personally never seen it. I mean, Jason Bateman and Jennifer Garner are in there, so that's pretty dope. But I know it was very captivating because she was so young and pregnant and things like that. So I think that was I don't want to say taboo, but I want to say it's like definitely something that like a lot of people might struggle with in their lives where they're in a situation they don't necessarily want to be in or have to be in. So yeah, that was 2007 Juno. Some would say we don't talk about Juno, but
you know that we do talk about Juno. Juno? All right.
Take it away, Gav.
All right. All right. Let's take it from the top like a bad breakup 6 months ago. Let's move on. 2007's quoted worst movie rated here is Epic Movie. You ever seen this?
Epic Movie?
You ever seen this?
No.
You would love it. It says a spoof on previous year's epic movies, being The Da Vinci Code in 2006, The Chronicles of Narnia: The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in 2005, and 20 more TV series, music videos, and celebrities. 4 orphans are on an epic adventure. Go a little bit deeper. It's 4 adult orphans are on an incredible adventure in a spoof of blockbuster and fantasy films. They visit a bizarre confectioner's chocolate factory and enter a mythic realm when they must help a wise but lusty lion rid the land of witchy women.
What? What? What is happening right now? What?
All right, let me just when they must help a wise but lusty lion rid the land of witchy women. Director Jason Friedberg.
That's a name.
Starring Cal Penn, Jennifer Coolidge, and Fred Willard.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
What does she look like?
Blonde.
Yeah.
She's the one that's like, what is her catchphrase? It's like, ooh, yeah. Ooh, I can't do it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Wisconsin. I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm not even going to. You know where I was going with it.
Yeah. The ratings on this, it was rated.
I'm excited for this.
It was rated a strong 2.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh,
what do you think it was rated on Rotten Tomatoes?
Ooh, Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, IMDb rated it. What was it again?
2.4.
2.4.
Yeah.
18%. That's the score.
You're locking it in?
I'm locked in.
All right. So this is rating a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No way.
With a 17% score on Metacritic.
What?
So the Metascore, there was 17%. Yeah, this movie, to the critics, did not perform well. But what I do know is that everyone in my age range loved this kind of movie, because this was the time where it was like this movie, it was superhero movie, disaster movie. They were all doing. It was just the parody movies.
Okay.
So it was all spoofs of other things. So it was like a superhero movie was spoofing on like like Spider-Man and like that, and it would disaster movie was spoofing on like Godzilla and stuff like.
Oh yeah,
was that scary? It's all coming off like the scary movies.
Yeah, was there
off
also like a Sharknado too, or was that later?
Well, Sharknado is an actual movie.
Oh, you're talking about just straight up spoof. I thought.
Yeah, this was like a spoof. Like this is like it's a spoof. It's like all parodies. So like Scary Movie was a parody of Scream.
Yes.
And they kept making them.
Yes.
But now and it kept going, and then you had like and you did like they did the what is it, the Grudge, and then and then they started making these movies where it's like superhero movie, disaster movie, stuff like that. And I loved all of them.
Yeah.
But this one I think you'd really like because they started busting on Harry Potter in this one, I believe. I think it was this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it was this one. It's one of them. They started busting on Harry Potter, and he's like, "Hello, travelers. I'm Harry Potter." And he's like, "Aren't you a little old to be in high school?" "Nonsense. I'm only 12." And then like Hermione's like knocked up.
Oh yes, yes. I have seen the clips of that, and it's like, and then she's like, cause she's pregnant.
Yeah,
like
she's chain smoking. She's like, oh my god. Don't let Harry drink. He likes to show off his Sorcerer's Stone. Oh my god. Yeah, these movies are great, dude. These movies are really great. But yeah, they were busted on the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
More, main character being Aslan, voiced by Liam Neeson. Made in 2005.
Is there something you want to say?
Once again, that was the Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Do not cite the dark matter to me, which I was there when it was written.
You got it right.
Oh, hell yeah, slam dunk, call me Cope. I mean, don't.
That's all I care about. I just care that you got it right.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. But yeah, so that was 2007's voted worst movie. It was Epic Movie.
Epic rap bottles of history. All right, now to take the shine away from that amazing movie. This one I know we both love. Do that again?
Nope.
Do that again? Damn it. We need to get someone like hire them and like flip the cameras.
Yeah.
So The Dark Knight, the trilogy is this one. It starts.
No, this is the second movie in the trilogy.
Oh wait, what was the first?
Batman Begins.
Oh yeah, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, 2008, The Dark Knight, Warner Brothers Pictures, things like that. 2008, The Dark Knight is next up. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy is easily one of the best, most impactful with all these that came out. So we have that one, and it's really starting to set up. Well, setting up the third, but it's really starting to like hone in on the Batmans and all like the DC characters. So this was the best, most impactful superhero movies to ever hit the screens. Of course, we all know that this year held up some formidable competition with Slumdog Millionaire, Taken, and the first Slumdog. Did I say smug?
Smug Dog?
Oh, damn, dude. I think I'm autistic. Dude, I think I have dyslexia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taken, and even the first Iron Man. However, the combination of Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne and Heath Ledger's chilling Joker.
Wow.
That's just what it said. And takes the Dark Knight to the next level. This is the second. See, if I would have just shut my mouth and read what I have written here.
Yeah.
This is the second film in Nolan's trilogy and follows Batman as he faces his most threatening villain to date, the Joker. You gotta have some pizzazz, give the listener something to laugh at. If it's me, it's fine.
I'm the Joker, baby.
What is that from?
It's like a video of the play, and he just comes out, or like the talent show or something.
Yes,
he goes,
I remember.
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Oh my god.
So IMDb gave it a 9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes. What do you think I gave it?
93.
I'm the Joker. No, you actually were pretty dead spot on, dude. 94%.
Wow.
Metacritic can critically suck my nuts because I gave it an 80. I'm sorry.
Not a fan of Metacritic on this one, are you?
No, because they're wrong, dude. Like, this is just ridiculous. They give it an 84%. How do you have IMDb, who are like professional people, to like go and break down these movies and like actually break it down, and they go 84? Shut up.
Okay, well, have you seen The Dark Knight?
Yes.
Okay. You would know if you've seen The Dark Knight. I'm not wearing hockey pads. God, you're so fucking stupid.
Dude, but I think that scene, as much as you crack joking there, it actually is kind of wild because like all these people were coming out and like trying to like be Batman.
Yeah.
But still, I quote all the time, and I know you do because you do the Bane voice really well.
That's the third.
I know
movie.
It's a third movie, but I'm saying in the trilogy from
Okay,
these movies is like you quote all the time. We always talk about like this trilogy.
Yeah.
Is when like you put your hand on the shoulder of someone.
Yeah.
And you go, "Do you feel in charge?"
This movie, let me tell you what. I have a very.
What?
All right. Stop it.
You can't even see what I'm doing.
I know. It makes it worse. I have a very, very fond recollection of this movie. It came out when I was in. I think it came out when I was going into 5th grade. And yeah, it changed my life. I didn't really understand it when I first watched it because I watched it when I was young. But then I watched it again. Excuse me. I watched it again when I was obviously much older, and it changed my view on movies a little bit. The first one I would say was really good, but it wasn't like anywhere close to the level of this movie. This movie hit heights for the movies period, not just like Batman movies or just superhero movies. It did something like it was for movies period. It changed the landscape. I think, Yeah. It was just that good. And then it kind of sucked that they peaked a little bit in the second movie because then they had to come back with the third. And I think the third movie, as good as it was, didn't stand a chance when trying to. There's just how do you compete with The Dark Knight?
I can't disagree with you because I think I watched them on our way back from Colorado.
The Dark Knight.
I think
maybe.
I know I watched a trilogy. Yeah, I did.
Did you?
And I remember.
That's concerning because you were driving.
I was. I mean, I was a passenger when I was doing this. Anywho, as Gavin says, you watch the first one, gets all this set up. It's awesome. You love it. And then you watch the Joker in the second one. And you're just so enthralled. Everything about it is so good. You have one of the most notable things in my brain from that movie is Heath Ledger coming out of the hospital, and he's like, he can't click the button. Yeah. And
that wasn't scripted.
I know. I found that out like 1 or 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't scripted, but he also went into some deep method acting for that role.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that he didn't get to see the fruits of his labor there. Unfortunately, passing away before the release of the movie. But if he
died before the release of Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he accepted his award. He won Best Supporting Actor, I believe, and that year, and he was accepted posthumously by his I forget who accepted the award from. It was his dad, maybe. But it was such a sad thing. You could just see like in the audience, obviously with all the celebrities and stuff, they had like teary eyes, and they were trying to there it was like a like the whole room like was understood was all in the same assignment. You know what I mean? They all understood the assignment there, because it's a terrible thing. He was struggling with his addictions and his vices, and obviously we lost him way too soon because he was pretty young when he passed away.
Yeah.
So, but he goes down as my opinion, and I don't think anybody could disagree with me here. I think he's the best Joker we've ever seen, besides the Mark Hamill Joker from the video games. But
how do you feel about the Suicide Squad Joker?
we don't got to talk about that. That's not even in the same. That's not even the same conversation. That's like.
Well, I only just want to get your opinion on it because I also want to ask you about like Joaquin Phoenix because, I feel a lot of people were young at the time when all this came out because this was how did I just
2008?
2008, yeah, and a lot of people that are growing up, they might not have necessarily seen it. You and I saw it when it came out. We were 8, 9, whatever it is, and. And it had a big impact on us, but I think, like my dad was super into superheroes and things like that. So was I, and I'm sure you've always been kind of like into comics and into superheroes because I've learned so much about comics just hearing you talk about it.
Yeah.
I learned about like World War II Hulk.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
And it's World Breaker Hulk.
World Breaker Hulk. Still can't get it right.
It's okay.
Do not cite the dark magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written.
Spoken by
Liam Neeson.
No. Spoken by Aslan.
Liam.
Voiced by Liam Neeson.
Anyways,
yeah. So my take on the Suicide Squad Joker, to answer your question here, is I think Jared Leto went with he kind of had to play the cards he was given, and I don't think there would be a way for him to even remotely try to conjure up any semblance of what Heath did with his portrayal. But I from what I read and what I heard when the movie came out, because it bombed. So what I heard from like TikToks and like YouTube videos and stuff like that, apparently they cut out like 80% of his actual scenes they filmed.
What?
Yeah, apparently they cut out like a lot of his scenes, and that's why he was kind of sporadically throughout the movie, not like a major focal point at any point.
Damn, that's actually.
Yeah,
a lot.
And even he said it, I think, in an interview. He was saying like they cut out most of his scenes and most of his work. So I think he kind of got the short end of the stick there a little bit. But I also think the movie wasn't really about him, so they were fine with just kind of taking the L on that one, I guess. But I don't know. I think it could have been better for him. But
yeah,
in terms of Joaquin Phoenix. Once again, it's a completely different take. More similar vibe, like rooted in reality, as opposed to like more like a Suicide Squad Joker, where a little more fanatical, or fantastical. But I think Joaquin Phoenix did a great job with the first one, but I just have this sneaking suspicion the second one's going to bomb. I think they're going to try to make it too. I don't even know what you would say, like too edgy or too like try to take the feeling that you had experienced from the first one and make that carry the movie and like force it, I guess. Push the envelope. I don't know.
No, I get it. I also think too, when you have such a crazy actor like Heath Ledger, to the point where he made the role his life.
Yeah.
And I think when you have someone that puts that much dedication into something, then it comes out in the fact where you have to continue the character under someone else. And he wasn't necessarily there to pass the torch per se, but I think most people who are young seeing these movies now, us living through these movies and all this kind of stuff, it was such a dark movie and it was such a pinnacle of our lives to see all this. I think what was wild is now we have to watch someone, quote unquote, I know it's a different rendition of each Joker, but almost take his place, and everyone, I'm sure it's a meme gif where like the Joker's like hanging out the side of the cab, and he has this like hair, and he's licking his lips. And I think people see that as like, oh, this is like the pinnacle of the Joker, and then You know, here comes the Suicide Squad Joker, and then here Joaquin. But I think the thing is the way they did with Joaquin Phoenix in Joker, I think was fantastic, and I think it brought back that Suicide Squad BS. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my small little.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would agree with you. I think but I think to wrap up the Dark Knight, I think it's the best Batman movie we've ever had, and until Matt Reeves kind of gets through his trilogy or whatever we're working on with Christian or Edward.
Scissorhands.
Yeah, no, Robert Pattinson's Batman, because the new Batman movies could be pretty good, but the Dark Knight's always going to have a special place in my heart.
Felt that.
All right, so for as good as that was,
oh no,
good as that
you're
was,
gonna ruin it now with this. Okay, just so everyone knows, I was like, hey man, I did the good movies this time. Do you want to do the good movies or last time? Do you want to do the good movies this time? He went, no. I got it. I got it.
All right. So the worst movie of 2008 on the other side of the coin here is Disaster Movie. We just kind of talked about it. I didn't see this when I was talking about them, but so it's Disaster Movie, rated at 1.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
What?
Yeah, 1.9. Given a 1% rating on Rotten Tomatoes with a 15% score on Metacritic.
Like I said, shall I say it again?
It says, for the synopsis here, it says, during a fateful night, a group of impossibly attractive 20-somethings. What's so funny about that?
Like...
That's what it says. During a fateful night, a group of impossibly attractive 20-somethings must dodge a series of man-made and natural disasters. Twisters, asteroids, earthquakes, and singer Amy Winehouse are just some of the perils they face while trying to make their way to safety. That's the synopsis. So I can see how it got a 1.9.
Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, that's what it says. And it's funny, some of the actors that are in here, because like they're in bigger things now, but back then, yeah, that's what I mean. Like this movie was, these kind of movies were coming out and really shaking things up a little bit. It was because you haven't seen any of these.
No.
Wow. Damn.
You know what we should do though? I think we should take this list one of these days.
Yeah.
You and I just sit down and we watch some of these, and then we do like a movie review, like we used to do. And be like, hey, guys, remember when we talked about this? No, we watched them.
Yeah, we could see if it's...
You went, yeah.
It's not funny, dude. Jeez.
I'm not laughing.
I'm sorry. I just looked down at the cast, and there's a dude named G-Thang. I'm sorry, dude. I just wasn't expecting to see it, man. God.
People have to go to courthouse.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah, so it was given a 1.9 on IMDb. Man, it only raked in... Well, actually, but you know what's funny is it says here that the budget for this movie was $20 million, but at box office it hit 34.8
million. Really?
Yeah, that's what it says. So, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's one of those movies where the audience liked it more. I would assume the audience has to like it more than the critics, because, dude, these movies are so funny because it's like almost like a live action Family Guy.
Really?
Yeah, like it's like, you know how like Family Guy will be like making a parody of like Spider-Man, let's say, and they'll do like a cutaway. That's how these movies are. Like, like, okay, so do you remember the first Spider-Man movie, the
Yes.
Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire one? where he's fighting the green goblin in the burning building.
Yeah.
And the green goblin throws the spinning blade things at him.
Yeah.
And he jumps and he does the spin and he misses, right? In like superhero movie, for example, he does that. He like the villain, same thing, like throws the spinning blades at him.
Okay.
And he jumps, and then they just like all hit him. And he's like, so that's what I mean. Like it's stuff like that where it's like they parody it, but they do it in such a raunchy way that you're like, whoa. Like it's like to me the best way I can describe it for you, like someone who hasn't seen it, is to say it's like a live action Family Guy. It's like it's the closest I can possibly get for you to understand.
Didn't they do a live action Family Guy?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I thought they did. Maybe people are just acting to act.
There's a guy who goes to like different Comic Cons and stuff. He dresses like Peter Griffin. That's like his whole thing. He streams.
Yes. I remember seeing him on TikTok, and I'm like, what? And his handle's like the real Peter Griffin. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And what was it? It got. Woo! I'm so sorry.
Woo!
I thought you were gonna talk, and then I switched the camera.
Why? I'm leaning.
I don't know.
What could I possibly say over here?
I got nervous.
I'm like. Jesus Christ!
I'm so sorry.
You're not gonna. I'm taking over the control of this. You're
All right.
fucking terrible at this.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just lean over. All right, guys. So, number 4. God. Jeez.
I'm crying.
Like, come on, dude. It's not that difficult. All right, hit me with 2009's best movie. Come on, lay it on me.
2009 is actually a really good movie. I loved it. I know you've seen it. Am I crying?
I'm crying on the inside.
The film was Up. Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. Pixar film has a representation of an incredibly entertaining, bright, fun, and emotional atmosphere. A lot of this reputation was established by the movie Up. Visually is its most recognizable animated films that are out there. Story-wise, Up was sure to break into your heart and crush into a million pieces. I know that the one cool thing from this movie, before I continue reading that, is Disney told an entire love story of a person's life, literally through just music and animation. No, not even like a little bit of talking. Nothing.
Yeah, that's got to be probably, I would say, the best storytelling or like representation of a like with no words spoken.
Yeah.
And I remember being like a little kid and not even like understanding really what I was watching, but being sad. And then as I got older and I watched it, knowing obviously what they're talking about, it was like, oh.
Yeah. It's sad, man, and it's one of the best animations I think Disney did. Continuing on. It follows a bitter old man named Carl that is hell-bent on suspending his home with balloons to float away to paradise. However, a young wilderness survival scout named Russell derails the entire plan. So, I think we all know a Russell in our lives. That little rustle and bustle from Russell. I'm so sorry.
You lost your train of thought.
Rustling and bustling in my brain. The train derailed from the. Anyways, point being, you even seen stories of things like this where the person doesn't want to sell their house to the big corporations because he was boxed in, and he wanted to float away, go to that falls thing that they always kept spending money into a jar for, and then they had a brake jar to fix this. Whatever it is, it was cultivating. It was awesome. I loved watching it. It's sad, but it came out in 2009 alongside other films. A couple notable ones, The Blind Side, which was awesome.
Yeah,
that was a really good movie, and Star Trek.
That was also really good.
So those two movies put a mark on the industry that year. I still think if you're going to make a movie about love and all this kind of stuff, this was the best way to do it. The IMDb gave it a 8.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 95%. And Letterboard, whatever that is, gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Wow.
So critics loved it. People loved it. I mean, we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I can't say much better things about it.
It was definitely one of, like, Disney doesn't make those, like, they're not making them the same way anymore. You know, they had a stretch where they were putting out, like, the Wallies, the Ups, things like that, where it's like, oh my God, the animation's going to a new level. They're just not missing banger after banger, one after the next. And obviously that's not the case anymore. But yeah, I remember watching Up. I think the first time I actually watched it, I was in school, like I was in a classroom, because I remember it had just come out, and I think I was in 6th grade, and I can't remember the teacher. I think it was Miss Spross, maybe. I forget. Anyway, not important. It was a free day for some reason. I don't know if it was the end of the year or if it was like I don't remember. But I do remember we watched it. I remember watching it and I was like, this, like it hit feelings I didn't know, like, but I didn't know why, you know what I mean? And I knew it was sad and everything. And I mean, that's got to be because it was only like a minute or so long with the recollection of his life and stuff.
Yeah.
How his wife passed.
Which is wild.
But the movie is a very and I feel like Disney does this or used to do this better than anybody else, where they were able to show you or like have like adult undertones and themes covered in little kid animation and story, and plot lines and stuff like that. But yeah, Up it changed the landscape, I think, a little bit especially for coming out in 2009.
Yeah. I was 9, you were 10.
Yeah,
It's crazy though, dude. Like it really was fantastic. Disney even has they're known for their short films too, and I know they have it in their parks where you can go and see like the short films that are being done, and some of those are absolutely amazing. There's one, I forget what it's called, but it's with a bunch of like birds or like kind of like these ocean bird things, and the bird is scared to go out from the nest after it's been hatched, and the mom's like, "Let's go." And the mom brings back like a thing and feeds him, and then eventually she's like, "No, you have to learn how to do this on yourself, on your own." Yeah. And he's hungry the one day, and everyone goes out and runs to the ocean. And as they're doing that, again, birds, no like man from planet Earth going, "Well, you look at the little bird, and he's hungry." Like the tummy grumbles and makes all those noises. And the bird, like, runs out, and then here comes the tide. It comes in, and he gets scared and runs away. And the whole time, you're learning this little bird. It's the cutest thing. And then
what are you talking about right now?
I'm talking about like one of their short films, and it's like how they describe.
You're going super in depth on this.
I was thinking, yeah, but point being is they took a thing that doesn't talk, that can't really communicate with humans.
Oh.
And they went, here's the sad story.
Yeah, I kind of missed that.
Oh, did I just go on a tangent?
Just listen to you talking about birds. You're like, there's no birds, no people. Dude, I'm sorry. I don't know where you're going with this. It's my bad. I missed that.
We'll watch the short film.
I missed that, yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's like the one where she eats her son as a dumpling. There's like a Disney short from like a couple years ago where it's like the lady, it like won awards. She like has like the dumpling in it.
Oh yeah.
She eats it.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I think you should get it out.
All right, man. See.
No.
All right. So moving on. So 2009's worst movie of the year, is the movie called 2012. A disaster.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the end of the world movie. 2012. It
came out in 2010.
2009.
2009.
Yeah. So To give the synopsis here for it, it says Earth's billions of inhabitants are unaware of the planet, or that the planet has an expiration date. With the warnings of an American scientist, world leaders begin secret preparations for the survival of select members of society. When the global cataclysm finally occurs, failed writer Jackson Curtis tries to lead his family to safety as the world starts falling apart. Notable cast members, being like the Jackson Curtis is John Cusack. You have Morgan Lilly, Amanda Peet, Woody Harrelson's in this movie.
Yeah.
So Woody Harrelson. He plays a psycho.
Yep.
The ratings for this movie, IMDb coming in with a hot 5.8 out of 10. Yeah. Where Rotten Tomatoes.
Interesting.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes gives it a solid 39%, so definitely higher than the last two at 1 and 2%.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And Metacritic coming in at a 49%. Basically, I would say that it's rated as one of the worst movies of 2009. But I can't lie to you. It really is not. It's not a bad watch.
No, it's not. I do think a lot of the time that people were talking about that. The Mayan calendar was ending in 2012.
Yep.
And I remember watching that, and I was terrified watching the whole thing the entire time. Because I'm sitting here as a kid in 2009, and I'm like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was wild because you're watching everything crumble. Everything's just going haywire. No one really knows what's going on. And then as it's all kind of protruding, it's like, oh, well, this is just another one of those end of the world movies, or like a massive shipwreck movie or something like that. Because there's movies like that have been made like 4 times over, where it's like the world's ending and everyone who's rich and famous gets the call to go into the,
Yeah. Well, that's like the whole subplot of the movie is like the main character Jackson is a failed writer, and so what he's doing is he's a limo driver for these like billionaires, right?
Yeah.
And when the world starts falling apart, he takes his family, what he's like estranged from his wife. He doesn't see his kids very often, so like their stepdad, like his wife's new husband, like is with him and stuff. But he ends up connecting it back with the people he drove for, and the Russian billionaires, and they're like just waltzing through all the evacuation things because they have like a super pass for. They're like one of the first people on, and then everyone else gets left behind, and like all this stuff is going on for it. You can kind of see like how the elitism, is kind of taking place. Yeah,
100%.
Where you have all your world leaders, your billionaires, your like quote unquote more important people getting put on these ships first, and in these bunkers and all that good jazz. But yeah, so for this movie, I would say it's not a bad watch. It's not like like what was the other one, like from 2000. Whatever that was.
The 1%.
Yeah, like it's not something where you're gonna watch it and laugh hysterically at it like you would like one of the like a disaster movie or epic movie or something. But the reason why it got a lot of bad reviews is because every 2 seconds there's a close call. Like there's like they just narrowly escape.
Yeah. You're right. With the helicopter. And then there was because what's his face knew how to do it, or.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden the stepdad he did take flying pilot classes.
Yes. Yeah, I will say that happened a lot.
And then it was like like Yosemite is like blowing up, and they're driving through it and stuff, and it's like it was so much that it's like okay.
It kind of reminds me. What's that movie we just watched? It was like the moon's like inches from Earth. The moon is breaking through the atmosphere.
Oh, we didn't just watch that. We watched it like 3 years ago.
Why? That wasn't 3 years ago.
Or 2 years ago. Yeah, because you're talking about, what is it, like something Project Skyfall or something, or Project Moonfall. That was like a couple years ago.
Damn.
Yeah. Then we went to see that after our margaritas night.
We did. Yeah. Oh, we did.
Why did you react like that?
That was fucked up.
I remember everybody was so excited about that movie. That movie sucked.
It was bad.
That was pretty bad.
I remember because we used to go do the John, and I think they were running a special on flights that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, what there were like 4 flights.
Yeah, dude. Those flights were amazing.
They were.
But yeah, so for 2012, this movie, I don't mind rewatching it. I think it has a really solid rewatch. Like its rewatchability is up there, but it does get a little annoying when it's like everyone else is dying and like except for the main cast and the main people and the main scientists and I don't know. But so it
didn't end. There is a theory though that it did end. Everything just switched. That's why you have a Mandela effect.
Yeah, I heard that where it's we switched universes or switched realities or something.
Or we merge or something.
Yeah, we merged because they did the same time it was supposed to end. They like started the particle accelerator and we like switched dimensions and realities or something.
Just waiting for Barry Allen to Speed Force. Anyways, let's go to let's Speed Force our way back to 2010. How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know if you saw this one at all.
I did.
You did.
I did.
Another DreamWorks animation. Well, no, this DreamWorks. Yeah. Disney and Pixar are usually the mainstream animation companies that most attention gets praised for their films. However, if DreamWorks is going to be praised for a project, it has to be How to Train Your Dragon. In a year that had Toy Story 3, Inception, The Social Network, and The Black Swan. Oh, The Black Swan. I forgot about that film. This film rose above them all, and How to Train Your Dragon came out in 2010 and follows the unlikely friendship and companionship between a young man, Hiccup, and his dragon he named Toothless. The film captures the beauty of a friendship and family and adventure, not to mention that the soundtrack is absolutely jaw-dropping.
That was pretty good.
See what I did there?
I did see that.
I dropped my jaw.
You did.
And then I let everyone see it.
And then
I said jaw-dropping. The IMDb gave it a 8.1 out of 10. And this was pretty cool because Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 99%.
Really?
Yeah, 99%. So I thought that was pretty cool. I remember when this came out, everyone was like, yo, we got to go see this. Oh, this is such a cool movie. Again, I was like 10 or 11 at the time. Everyone wanted one of those little toothless, like little Dragon John things. Everyone was owned dragons. Because I remember when I was younger, my dad read us Aragon books.
Aragon. Wow.
Yes.
That's a throwback.
I still have the books upstairs.
Probably shouldn't admit that.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
just jokes.
I mean, you have them upstairs.
Yeah.
Amanda has them upstairs.
There you go. No, I remember those books because the movie sucked.
I'm so glad you said that because, like, my dad read them, and then I read Aragon again when I got the books. My dad lent them to me.
Yeah.
And bro, dude, it was the same thing with the last movie of Harry Potter. It was the same thing. It's like, this did not follow it. It sucked. They ruined it. They said names wrong that I was saying in my head, so it pissed me off.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, absolutely fantastic movie, How to Train Your Dragon.
Well, I heard How to Train Your Dragon did a really good job of, because there's like a couple of them, right?
Yeah, I think there's
like
3.
3? Because I remember there was somebody talking about it where they were saying that for these movies, the overall arcing storyline actually was one of the best for such a, you wouldn't like expect it.
Yeah,
I guess. And for how good these movies really turned out, everybody from the actors, doing the voices and the motion capture and the writing and like everything just worked on this project for
100%.
for however many movies that there were.
Yeah.
And you don't see that too often. You see a lot of the time it's hard to keep going 2 movies. It's hard to make a second movie, let alone a third of whatever. It's hard. It really is. I mean, you see some losing some lackluster performances, or not performances, but plot lines or execution or something, even in some of the best franchises.
Yeah.
You know, like the Lord of the Rings. You know, some of that. You know, especially when you go from the Lord of the Rings to the Hobbit.
Yeah.
That's a jump. Like that was a money.
Yeah,
That was a cash grab. Like how you felt about the last movie of Harry Potter,
And then being turned into 2.
What do you mean?
Wait, you continue. I'm gonna shut my mouth.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so how you feel about the last Harry Potter movie is how I feel about the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, because it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just a cash grab. They didn't. The love wasn't poured into it the same way it was for the Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With How to Train Your Dragon, I feel like it was.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
With every movie.
And it's cool because it's like it's for kids, but it's what's also nice. What you said earlier, where they can like put this undertones of like adult life, is I think DreamWorks knocked out of the park because adults could sit here and be like, I'm actually enjoying this movie. It's not like a kids movie, quote unquote.
Yeah.
To where they're like, oh, my kid's having fun. It's an okay movie. Like I don't mind watching it, but they can actually be like, oh, this is cute. Here's this little hurt dragon, and Hiccup's like, I'll help you, and it like blows fire at him. You know.
I'm gonna need you to recreate the whole movie just doing the sound effects. No, not right now. But I'm saying, like,
later. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. But yeah, bottom line, I think it was a fantastic movie. Yeah, no complaints from me, man.
Nice. Well,
round us out, Gav.
to round us out here, to make sure that we're all not squares.
I hate you so much.
Okay. Well, no, never mind. To finish this out here, so for the worst movie rated of 2010, or according to IMDb, was Dylan Dog Dead of Night. This movie was scored a 5.1 out of 10 on IMDb, with a whopping 4% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
And a overwhelming 31% from Metacritic. Yeah.
Metacritic.
Let me just pull up the other slide here I have for it. So the director was Kevin Monroe, starring Brandon Routh, Anita Bream, and Sam Huntington. Brandon Routh was also Superman from the 2006 Superman Returns movie.
Oh, interessante.
And he reprised his roles. Sort of in the, but not reprised his role. Was also another superhero in the Flash series. The later seasons. I think like season 4 or 6 or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this movie it's the synopsis here for it is Dylan Dog is a world famous private detective who specializes in the affairs of the Walking Dead. Armed with silver wooden bullets and a razor sharp wit, Dylan works his latest case, tracking down a dangerous missing artifact. If he fails, the results will be dire. War will break out among the werewolves, vampires, and zombies who prowl the monster-infested streets of New Orleans. Based on the popular graphic novel by, not even going to try to say that name. I'm really sorry. You can look it up.
Feel my pain now, huh?
That's tough. That's a tough one.
Just try it. Just go for it. Just
Tiziano Sclavi.
Ah. Oh, yeah, Tizian. Yeah, I'm actually saw him the other day.
T-Dog. Yeah.
Making up names like that other guy.
Yeah, no, I've never I've never seen this movie. I've never even heard about this movie. So I don't have too much to say on it, but apparently it was not good. But a little bit more about what it's based on is it was created by the creator, Mr. Sclavi, or Mrs. Sclavi, I don't know.
Yeah.
A comics and novel writer, while the graphic representation of the character was elaborated mainly by Claudio Villa, who was in its first cover artist too, taking the inspiration from the English actor Rupert Everett as he saw in another movie, Another Country. But yeah, it's there's not even a lot to really go into on this one. It just looks like it was a mid 2000s miss, or I guess a late 2000s miss, being that's 2010. But can I just say, I hate how people do that. They go, oh, the 2000s and then the 2010s. Like they do. Like I don't know if it makes sense to you, but like when I think of the 2000s, I think of the 2010s.
You know what? I see what you're saying, but in my head, 2010 is like a cutoff point.
It's not for me.
See, that's weird because if
2012 is the cutoff point for me. I don't know why that's like that in my brain.
Really?
I don't know why it's like that in my brain, but I like when people say like the 2010s, I think of like from 2012 forward.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I know why. I bet you I know why. I went into middle school in 2008. I got out of middle school in 2012. Went into high school in 2012. So that's where
when everything started.
The mental break. Like
I see.
You know what I mean?
Okay, it's fine. You're wrong.
I would have to disagree with you there, pal.
Well, we can disagree and agree on me. So
that's not. We can agree to disagree that you're correct.
Anyways, yeah, dude. 2010, like to me, like if you went, yeah, dude, like I'm gonna butcher this now, but all I know is 2010 to me, that starts a whole new period.
Because you were going in.
It doesn't. Yeah, there's no point for me to that. Because like, I remember when, like it was like 2014 or it was 2016, and someone was like, "Dang, that happened 6 years ago."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What? That was like 5." I was like, or like, say like something happened in like 2003, right?
Okay.
In 2016, I'd be like, "Damn, that was only 6 years ago." But then I'm like, "Oh fuck, the cutoff point is 2010 in my head." So that was like 9 years ago, 7, 6.
If you're saying
12.
if you're thinking of 2003 and 2016,
7. Yeah. Fuck, dude, I'm not 13.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're not here, are you?
Not here. I'm spiraling.
Hey, baby girl, who's your dialect coach?
But yeah, I don't know. But for whatever reason, that's my cutoff point.
Well, that's the normal cutoff point. Is 2010.
2010.
Because it goes 2000 to 2009, then 2010 is the cutoff point, and then 2010 to 2020. But it's not set up that way for me because I have to me it goes around like my school years. You know, so like
I understand. That's like a big chapter in your life.
Yeah, like 2012 to 2016 was a big part of my life, and then 2017 and 18 feel like a blur.
Yeah.
Those years are just gone to me. I don't even know what I did throughout those years. And then 2019 to now, like the 20, like where it's weird to think like in 100 years somebody will look back and be like, we're in the 20, these people in the 20s, you know.
Yep.
Same way
we're gonna
that
be
we
history.
do. Yeah, literally.
We're going through a lot of history right now.
We are. Maybe we'll be cemented in the history books.
For what?
These taking over the number one podcast spot on Spotify. Taking over JRE after we combine for an episode because he's like, wow, you guys are so big, we're gonna have you on. And we go on there and then we talk about aliens and stuff and bears.
I feel like you hurt your brain with that whole
Can't hurt my brain. Doesn't even work.
Anyways, let's round this out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We ended at 2010 today, so next week you guys will be hearing 2010 or 2011 to
2015.
15. Yeah, yeah. So, always a reminder. Make sure you're checking out our socials, liking our Instagram, doing all that kind of stuff. Helps with the algorithm, like I'm sure you hear every other podcast and every other YouTube say. It does help out. It truly does. So if you guys smash those buttons, it helps us smash more episodes and continue on.
It's true.
So yeah.
That's it. That's all I got for you. My brain is starting to spiral.
Peace out. Link to